Hello, and welcome to another card video. Today I'm using Your Next Stamps One in a Chameleon and Mud Splatter stamp set. I've also got a piece of Tailored Expressions Poppy Seed cardstock, Bristol Smooth, and Nina. I'm using some Hickory Smoke Distress ink and this Brickwall background to create my background. Brickwall Stencil. Now I'm using Distress Ink Black Soot to create my black top. Just making sure that it's nice and dark. I'm going to cut out the Femme frames, Mama Elephant Femme frames stitched rectangle to create my background. Now I'm stamping the Chameleon in Memento Tuxedo Black. So I'm masking off the eyes, and I'm going to bring that Brickwall Stencil back and the Hickory Smoke Distress ink to stencil some of the Brickwall image onto my Chameleon. The idea is to have him blending into the background, but not too much. So I want a good coat of Distress ink on him as well. So once I get him blended, I'm also going to use the black soot on his feet and a portion of his tail. So I'm using the neutral gray markers to basically only do the shadows of the Chameleon. So I'm trying to shade the darkest spots, or what I think is the darkest spots of the Chameleon, to kind of make him pop a little bit off of the background. I'm not adding any color, just the shading. This card was pretty long to create, so I tried to cut the video down. I try to make the videos about 10 minutes, and this was pushing it. So I've tried to speed it up in parts and cut out some maybe unnecessary parts or things that are self-explanatory. So once I have all of the neutral gray shadows where they might be, I'm not that great of an artist, I used some cool gray markers to define his eyes. I also used some Jelly Roll black to enhance his eyes. And now I'm fussy cutting him out right on the line. And I'm going to use the black marker to go around the image to get rid of all of those white spots. So now I'm using Spellbinders page maps, Say What, to cut out my sentiment panel, and I'm stamping You Color My World with Memento Tuxedo Black on it. So now I'm using the Mud Splatter directly to my background, and I'm using a ton of colors here. These are Tailored Expression inks. I'm using Cherry Pop, Candy Corn, Lemon Meringue, Peapod, and Cookie Monster to make a rainbow of color on my background. The challenge that was given to us was to create a card with artist inspiration, to take either a famous artist or a famous piece of art and create a card from it. And I've always been very attracted to graffiti art. For for more information about that, you can visit my blog. So this is where I got the inspiration for this card. So I'm just going through the ink colors, cleaning off my stamp each time and just using a different portion of the stamp to make all of the colors, the array of colors. I'm also going to use the smaller little splat from the Chameleon, one in the Chameleon stamp set, to both add this down here in the right hand corner, and later in the video I'll add another spot up in the top left hand corner. And I'm just doing the same technique, adding color, stamping it, adding some more color, stamping it down. It doesn't really matter because the sentiment panel is going to cover up the majority of this. So now that I have my splatters, I'm going to take some Copic markers to color in the color portion of the sentiment. Just red, orange, yellow, green, blue, just like the colors that I used on the ink splat, or the paint splat, or the splatter. And I'm not doing anything fancy, I'm literally just coloring them in. So now I've put a piece of craft foam on this panel to pop it up, and I'm using score tape to adhere it. I'm also using Scotch 3M foam tape to pop up the Chameleon and my sentiment panel. So now I'm using Nuvo crystal drops in Caribbean blue and apple green to add a little bit more color and dimension to that ink splats or paint splats or mud splatter stamp. Once the crystal drops were dried, I decided that I needed more splats. So now I'm going to do another ink splat up in the top left-hand corner with the red and orange colors. Exact same technique. I'm trying to be a little bit more careful now that the card is all together. And then to finish it off, I'm going to use Ebony black Nuvo drops. And this one's tricky because I wanted it underneath, coming out from underneath of the sentiment. And of course the sentiment panel was in the way. That's my video. I hope you guys enjoyed it, and I'll see you next time. I don't see you. Where's Dexter? Where's Dexter? Oh, I guess he's not here.